Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of terminal commands out there, do not worry. Today we are cutting right through the noise. We're going to dive into a highly practical step-by-step roadmap designed specifically for new developers. Our goal is to help you truly master version control, but we're doing it by focusing strictly on the essential Git and GitHub commands that you are actually going to use every single day. Let's get into it. Here is exactly what we're going to cover. First up, your developer portfolio. Then, the daily Git workflow, starting local projects, working with branches, merging and fixing conflicts, and finally, undoing those inevitable code mistakes. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, your developer portfolio, Git versus GitHub. So we really need to distinguish between the tool on your computer and the website where your portfolio lives. Git is your local version control system. Think of it literally like your bank statement. It meticulously tracks every single addition, deletion, and transaction in your code's history directly on your own machine. GitHub, on the other hand, is the global website where you actually store and manage that code. It acts as your public developer portfolio. Honestly, it's very much like an Instagram profile that you'd proudly link on your resume to show the world your actual work. Moving right along to Section 2, the daily Git workflow. Let's talk about the core commands you'll be running on repeat. Think of this as your literal daily routine. Step 1, you use git clone along with a link to download an existing project right to your computer. Step 2, as you start working, you run git status to check exactly which files you've just modified. Step 3, you use git add to prep and stage those specific files. And finally, step 4, you finalize it all with git commit -m and a descriptive message to officially save those changes into the project's history. It is a rhythmic, 4-step dance, and trust me, it will quickly become complete muscle memory. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth does saving take 2 whole steps? Well, in Git, it's actually a 2-step commitment. Running git add is kind of like the engagement phase. You're just staging the files, preparing them, and saying, hey, we are getting ready to make this official. But running git commit, that is the wedding. That is the official, permanent, legal record that gets stamped directly into your project's timeline. Okay, so once your changes are officially married into your local history through that commit, you need a way to show them off to the world. That's where the push command comes in. You use git push origin main to basically shove those local committed updates straight up from your computer to your GitHub portfolio, ready for the rest of your team or even future employers to see. Section 3, starting local projects. What if you aren't downloading an existing project? What if you're a new developer starting a totally fresh idea right from scratch on your own laptop? Your workflow shifts just a tiny bit. Step 1, by typing git init inside your empty project folder, you basically breathe life into it. You're telling Git to create a hidden .git folder and start tracking its history. Step 2, you use git remote add origin along with your GitHub link to connect that local folder to your online portfolio. And step 3, git push -u origin main uploads your initial code and sets that link as the default destination. So next time, you can literally just type git push. So this brings up a huge question that literally every new developer asks eventually. As you grow from building solo student projects to working on massive corporate teams, you really have to wonder, how do 50 or 100 people edit a website simultaneously without everything just completely breaking and overwriting each other's hard work? Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, working with branches. Branching is just a really clever way for every developer to create a totally isolated copy of the main code. That way, they can safely build their specific features without touching the master copy. You've got a handful of essential commands to make this happen. Git branch lets you check which timeline you're currently on. And think of the git checkout -b command kind of like checking into a different hotel room. It magically switches your entire folder to a safe alternate timeline where you can experiment, break things, and just build freely. When you're all done, you can safely delete that room with git branch -d. Section 5, merging and fixing conflicts. Okay, so your feature is done on its separate branch. To unite it back with the main project, you essentially have 2 paths. Locally, step 1 is to switch back to your main timeline using git checkout main. Step 2 is to run git merge feature branch to bring those new changes right on in. But here's how it often works in a professional team setting. Instead of merging locally, you'll actually push your branch up to GitHub and open a pull request. This is absolutely incredible for teamwork because it lets senior developers review your code, leave some feedback, and approve everything before the merge officially happens. But let's be real, things don't always go smoothly, right? Sometimes you'll hit a wall and get that terrifying red text, error, merge conflict. Git is unable to automatically resolve differences. This usually happens if you edited the exact same line as another developer. Like, say you added a submit button on line 10, while someone else added a drop-down menu on line 10. Git basically throws its hands up and says, look, I am a robot, I have no idea which one of these to keep.
Okay, let's fix this because honestly, it's genuinely not as scary as it looks. First rule of merge conflicts: do not panic. Step 1, open the conflicting file in a smart editor like VS Code. Step 2, VS Code will actually highlight the clash in bright colors for you, and it gives you handy little buttons at the top to choose accept current, accept incoming, or even keep both changes. Step 3, you simply click which developer's code survives, which visually removes those weird Git conflict markers. Finally, step 4, just add and commit the newly resolved file. Boom, you are right back in business.
Speaking of panicking, let's talk about the ultimate elephant in the room for every developer out there. What if you make a truly terrible mistake and need to completely undo it? I mean, what happens when you accidentally delete a crucial database file and you actually stage, or worse, commit that total disaster? That brings us to our final part, Section 6, Undoing Code Mistakes. Git is actually famously forgiving, provided you know the right commands to basically time travel. You really have two main lifelines here. If you have an unstaged error, meaning you've only run git add, but you haven't officially committed yet, a simple git reset with a file name unstages it. It drops the file right back from that engagement phase. But if you've already committed the error, making it part of the official timeline, you use git reset head/1. This incredible command tells Git to rewind your project's master timeline back exactly one step. It effectively deletes that last official mistaken screenshot right out of existence.
And just like that, we've wrapped up the core concepts. So the real question is, are you ready to make your first commit today and start building out your public portfolio? With this practical roadmap of essential commands in your pocket, from your daily engagement and wedding workflows to branching, fixing conflicts, and literally time traveling to undo mistakes, what is truly stopping you from initializing your very first project and showing your code to the world right now? Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer to decode version control. Now get out there, open your terminal, and happy coding.